Okay, today is September 27th, 2015, and we're watching the rainbow color infrared loop for the Northeast Pacific. We've got a system moving due east. Let's look at this in the water vapor loop. This is a gale right here, and this is heading towards California. We've got a large moisture field right here moving through the state. We have chemtrails in Los Angeles today. I'm going to get a video of that later. And so they are preparing the skies for potential rainfall from not only this moisture field, but also this gale right behind it, which has a HAARP transmitter on it. Let's go ahead and look at the pressure that this transmitter has created on that spinning low pressure right here. Let's see, right here. Okay. Now we have something here, right here. It's identified as a gale with a 1,011 millibar pressure right here. And this is moving towards California. We've got a high. They're indicating a high right behind it, but in fact the high is right here, right behind the core. Okay. All right, and so they are trying to kill this thing before it moves into California, and the skies are being chemtrailed pretty intensely. Let's look at the, this is the SSEC map. Pull this out just a bit, see what's happening here. You can see a lot of chemtrail spraying, a lot of aerosol chemtrail spraying all through here. And right through here, and also down in the southwest. We'll take a look at the southwest map later on here in a minute. Now notice the clockwise movement here. We have a lot of strong flow indicated by this bit of convection going on there. So we've got a clockwise flow here. We've got high pressure pinned right here. That's going to block that tropical storm Marty, which is down off of Mexico. And it will prevent a lot of this moisture from getting any further south. Meantime, we've got this spinning low pressure right here, which has a HAARP transmitter right on top of the core, and that's where we're getting that 1,030, or rather that 1,011 millibar reading right here. This would be a lot lower pressure than that, and it probably would be if there wasn't a transmitter parked on top of it, following it along. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the water vapor map once again, and we can see Marty, Tropical Storm Marty right here is forecast to run right into the coast of Mexico in the next few days. This storm is being hit by a transmitter, microwave. We can see the flashes all through the core, and we can see the blast pattern as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the National Hurricane Center map. And right here we have Marty, and this is a 60 mile per hour storm. It's moving northeast at 6 miles per hour, northeast at 6 miles per hour. So it's moving in a sort of a 1 o'clock p.m. position trek. All right. Okay, we have a disturbance out here with a 10% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. All right. Let's keep going. This now is what's going on out in, this is Tropical Storm Niala, right by Hawaii. And this storm has not been killed yet. They are continuing to hit it. We can see a blast pattern all along this flank of the storm right here. So the storm is continuing to be hit by microwave or some way to heat this core. They're heating this core, and we can see the shock waves, blast waves all around that, and the core completely collapses. See that? This is a 7.5 hour loop, and so they're continuing to hit this storm to kill it. And there's a strong easterly headwind, as you can see. Okay, now let's watch this in the. This is the infrared loop. We can see some shock waves, blast pattern, Real clean looking blast pattern right here, all the way around. So they're continuing to throttle this back, and it seems to be moving away from Hawaii. They were saying yesterday that the storm was moving due west, but looks to me like it's not moved much at all. Maybe even backwards a little bit. We can see the wind shear. We've got a strong upper level easterly flow, and then we have this sort of a westerly flow below the weather here. All right. Okay, let's look at this in the visible light mode. And right in this loop, we can see a large pock mark right there. Bang, right there. Right there. As that storm is being targeted. Now, early in this loop, we can see that right over here, the storm is hit first in the very first frame of this loop. But there's a pattern of something that there's an overlay on this graphic right in this area. And I don't know, I've seen this before, and it looks like this overlay hides some detail. That is the actual hit that we're seeing from the microwave transmitter. Now we're seeing it over here on the very last couple of frames, right there. Right there. I'll get the pen out of the way. Right there. Okay. And also, going back to the very beginning frames on this loop, the front of this is being targeted. And watch what happens. There's an eddy current that develops, possibly from that hit. I'm not sure, but that may be something below the altitude there at a far lower altitude. But the point is that this storm is being hit twice. Once right here, and then once over here. And we can see those events pretty clearly on that view. And then, of course, we can see the shock waves that occur afterwards. All right. Let's go back to the water vapor mode one, or rather this is the infrared loop. You can see all that diminishment after that thing is hit. Okay, so they're working on that storm, and it's probably not going to be much of a threat to Hawaii. Let's go look at the. This is the south, or rather the East Pacific water vapor loop. We've got the southwest here. This is Tropical Storm Marty. The storm is also being targeted. We can see a couple of flashes in the core in the very beginning of that loop, and we can see the pressure wave, the blast ring right there, moving out of the northern area of that storm core. So that's being worked on. It's forecast to run right into the mainland there on Mexico in a few days, a couple of days probably, maybe by tomorrow. All right, let's look at the, this is the infrared loop. We can see some white flashes right in the core there. And it seems that every time we see these white flashes, we will see these pressure waves, these blast waves, in a pattern develop. So something is occurring inside this core. They're heating it very intensely, very quickly, and a microwave could do that. Coherent microwave light would certainly do that. That's my own take on this weather modification scheme that's going on here. All right, let's look at this in the visible light mode. Now, we see a similar overlay in the beginning frames, but then right there, we see a dot, a pock mark right in the center, and then we see a shock wave move out right there. Watch that. I'm going to let that play for a bit, because it's important to note that the timing of the shock wave comes right after the pock mark. Get this thing focused. Hang on a second, folks. I'm going to get this thing focused. Okay. Let's go back and look at this again. All right. Okay, but this is being targeted. There's a pock mark right there. Right there, right off the tip of that pen is a pock mark, and then we can see the a heat blast, a shock wave, pressure wave, move right away from the center of that spinning tropical storm right there. Okay. All right, so hopefully the point's been made that storm is being attacked and destroyed. All right, now here is the southwest rainbow loop. I wanted to okay, no, here's the water vapor mode. I wanted to show this first. Let's refresh that. Okay, this is the southwest. Got some problems with a couple of the frames, but point is all of this chemtrail activity is offshore, moving onshore to Los Angeles. Here's Los Angeles right there where the tip of the pen is, right there, and we can see all of these chemtrails moving in, these aerosols. They've been spraying these offshore, and also down here over Arizona. There's a lot of aerosol activity going on today in this entire region, and that is because of this moisture field that we were talking about here a minute ago, moving in, and then right behind that we have this low pressure Gale. Okay, that's probably got 60-mile-per-hour winds in it. This thing right here, we got a HAARP transmitter right here, right on top of that core. All right, and that's going to kill this thing off so that we don't have any rain. All right, so the name of the game here these folks are playing is keep the rain out of California. And we're watching that here live. And we have a high pressure down here. Okay, that's going to block Marty, it's Tropical Storm Marty, and it will keep this weather to the north of the Southern California and Arizona areas. So we've got this high built in. We've got hot weather again today with a lot of chemtrails. So Southern California is really not the great place to live, I'll tell you. It's just not that great. You got traffic all the time. You know, it's not that great unless you're at the beach. All right. Now we've seen. Let's see. We've seen that already. This is the other thing I wanted to show. This has this Gale. It's moving towards California. We can see these chemtrails fairly clearly right here. Okay, so I just want to document all this, and we will go ahead and do an update probably later today. If not, then we'll do one tomorrow. But it is very clear that you know, I've been doing these videos now pretty much daily for 3 months, and the pattern hopefully has been demonstrated that when we get a chance of rain, the water vapor is moving into California, we always see the chemtrails. Timing proves everything that we need to know about the purpose of the chemtrails. That is to dry out, create an inversion layer, a capping inversion layer over these storm clouds and these thunderstorms, and that prevents the convection, prevents the rain. All right. Okay. All right, well, we'll go ahead and do an update later. That's it.